The Red Shoe and the Act of Kindness. In a bustling town, there was a famous shoe shop that sold the most exquisite footwear. Among its collection was a red shoe, radiant as a ruby, with a glossy finish and a delicate bow. It was the most sought-after pair in the entire store. Day after day, the red shoe sat proudly on display, basking in the admiration of everyone who entered the shop. It listened intently to the oohs and ahs, growing prouder and more boastful with each compliment. One day, a poor girl named Lila entered the shop. With wide eyes, she gazed at the beautiful shoes, especially drawn to the red one. She gingerly tried it on, and it fit her perfectly. However, upon looking at the price tag, her face fell. She didn't have nearly enough money. Seeing the girl's disappointment, the beige shoe next to the red one whispered, "Why don't you offer to go with her for half the price? Look at how happy she'd be." The red shoe, wrapped up in its own pride, responded, "Why should I? I'm the most beautiful shoe here. My price is my worth." Lila, her heart heavy, placed the red shoe back on the shelf and left the shop with tears in her eyes. The very next day, a wealthy lady named Mrs. Benson entered the store. She had heard tales of the famous red shoe and wished to have it for herself. Trying it on, she admired how it looked on her foot, and without a second thought, she bought the pair. While the red shoe thought it had reached the pinnacle of its existence in Mrs. Benson's luxurious mansion, it soon discovered that it was seldom worn. It spent most days inside a dark closet, surrounded by countless other shoes, equally beautiful or even more so. On the rare occasions when it was worn, the red shoe realized that Mrs. Benson didn't care for it. It was just another accessory for her, not a cherished possession. It remembered Lila's loving gaze and gentle touch, and regretted its own pride. Meanwhile, Lila found a simple pair of shoes from a kind old cobbler. They might not have been as fancy or radiant, but they fit well and carried her comfortably through her days. Time passed, and the once radiant red shoe, now dusty and forgotten, understood that true worth wasn't about appearance or price, but the love and care with which one is held. It wished it could turn back time and be with someone who would truly cherish it, like Lila. Moral of the story: it's not our external value or appearance that determines our worth, but the love and kindness